Ever sit down at a steakhouse in Canada, glance at the menu, see $58 for a ribeye and think, this better be life-changing. Then the plate lands, you cut in, take a bite, and it tastes like something you could have grilled at home on a Tuesday. If that sounds familiar, you are not imagining things. Not every Canadian steakhouse chain is delivering what they promise. Some are charging premium prices for average beef. Others quietly offer excellent value without all the hype. So today we are ranking some of the most recognizable steakhouse chains in Canada, from Vancouver to Toronto to Calgary, from the most disappointing to the ones that are actually worth your hard-earned money. We are not judging them on how pretty the dining room looks, how many locations they have, or how strong their marketing is. We are looking at what matters to most Canadians over 45 who are paying the bill: flavor, consistency, portion size, value, and whether you would genuinely go back. Let's get into it. Starting at the bottom of the list is Moxies. Now, before anyone gets defensive, hear me out. Moxies, owned by Northland Properties, positions itself as casual upscale. The dining rooms are modern, the lighting is flattering, the cocktails look fantastic in photos. The menu is big and trendy. Pasta, burgers, bowls, seafood, steaks, something for everyone. And that's exactly the issue. When a restaurant tries to be everything to everyone, steak often becomes an afterthought. Across multiple locations in Canada, diners frequently describe the steaks as underwhelming. Cuts tend to be thinner than expected, doneness is inconsistent, medium rare sometimes arrives closer to medium well. The seasoning is often mild. And when you are paying $30 to $45 for a steak entree, mild is not what you want. The beef is not terrible, it's just forgettable. If you're going to Moxies for a drink and appetizers with friends, it can be a good night. But if you walk in specifically craving a standout steak, chances are you will leave thinking, that was fine, but not worth the price. At the bottom of a steakhouse ranking, fine does not cut it. Just above that is Montana's. Montana's, also under the Recipe Unlimited umbrella, has a clear personality. Rustic decor, cabin vibes, big portions, families, unlimited bread. It feels comfortable and familiar. Originally known more for barbecue, ribs, and casual fare, Montana's expanded into steaks as part of its broader menu, and that is where things get uneven. Some locations do a respectable job, others struggle with consistency. Reviews across the country often mention steaks arriving overcooked or lacking seasoning. Texture can be hit or miss. You might get a tender sirloin one visit and a chewy one the next. To be fair, Montana's is not pretending to be a high-end steakhouse. Prices are generally more approachable. You can feed a family without feeling like you need to remortgage the house. And their ribs tend to get better feedback than their steaks. But if we're strictly ranking steak quality, Montana's feels average. Service varies by location. The atmosphere is fun, the value is reasonable, but serious steak lovers usually walk away thinking, I should have ordered something else. Now we get into more controversial territory. Let's talk about the keg. For many Canadians, the keg is nostalgic. Anniversaries, promotions, retirement dinners. Founded by George Tidball in 1971, it has been around for decades and built a strong reputation through Recipe Unlimited's expansion. They do several things very well. The atmosphere is consistently upscale casual. The garlic mashed potatoes are beloved. The twice-baked potatoes are practically iconic. Prime rib, when done right, can be excellent. The bar program is solid. But here's the honest question. Is the keg still worth the price in 2026? Depending on the city, a sirloin or ribeye can easily land in the $40 to $55 range. Add wine, appetizers, and dessert, and you are well over $150 for two people. Many longtime customers say the experience is good, but not what it used to be. The steaks are often described as reliable rather than exceptional. Flavor is decent, tenderness is acceptable, but not mind-blowing. The biggest complaint tends to be inconsistency. One location delivers a perfect medium rare with great char. Another serves something slightly overdone and less flavorful. For a chain of this size, consistency should be its strongest asset. The keg is not bad, it's a pretty safe bet, but safe at premium prices is a tough sell when competition is getting stronger. Now, to be fair, there is a special category here. Certain flagship locations of the Keg Mansion deserve separate mention. These premium spots, often in historic buildings, offer a noticeably elevated experience. The atmosphere feels grand. The service tends to be more polished. The steaks are frequently better executed. The attention to detail is stronger. In places like Toronto, dining in a restored mansion adds to the sense of occasion. You are paying for ambiance, history, and service as much as the beef. However, prices are also higher. And while the experience is improved, some diners still question whether the jump in cost fully matches the improvement in quality. These mansion locations show what the Keg can be at its best. The issue is that not every standard location reaches that level. Moving into the middle tier is Chop Steakhouse and Bar. Chop, another Northland Properties concept, positions itself as a premium steakhouse with a modern feel and higher price points. You will often see steaks in the $60 to $80 range. When Chop gets it right, it's impressive. The beef is typically AN Canadian or USDA prime, often sourced through sustainable Canadian beef programs. Proper aging can bring out deep flavor. A well-cooked filet can be buttery and satisfying. The wine list is strong. The atmosphere feels upscale without being stuffy. The problem is variability. Some locations deliver excellent meals with attentive service. Others fall short. For a chain charging top-tier prices, every visit should feel special. When it does not, customers notice. At $70 for a steak, you are not just paying for beef. You're paying for precision, consistency, and confidence. And Chop, while capable, does not always hit that mark across the board. It lands squarely in the middle because it has potential and often delivers, but not predictably enough. Cactus Club Cafe. Yes, Cactus Club. Known for its trendy interiors and diverse menu, it is not a traditional steakhouse. But quietly, it has become one of the most consistent places in Canada to get a well-executed steak at a fair price. With Rob Feeney, the Iron Chef winner, as executive chef overseeing culinary development, the chain has elevated its steak program significantly. They serve a Canadian beef and certain USDA prime cuts. Their ribeye often receives strong praise for marbling and flavor. Temperature control tends to be reliable. Order medium rare and you usually get medium rare. Prices generally sit between $35 and $50 for a steak, depending on the city. That is significantly lower than many high-end competitors, including sister concept Earl's. Even more impressive is consistency across locations. Whether you are in Vancouver, Calgary, or Toronto, the quality feels similar. That is rare. The atmosphere is modern and energetic. Service is generally friendly and professional. You are not getting white tablecloth dining, but you are getting strong value. Cactus Club earns its high ranking because it combines quality, execution, and price in a way that surprises people. And now, the most controversial pick of all. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Mr. Mike's is not flashy. It's not pretending to be ultra luxurious. It is casual, comfortable, approachable. But here's what it gets right: value and consistency. Their steaks are typically AAA, Canadian beef, often sourced through sustainable Canadian beef programs. Portions are solid. Prices often fall in the $25 to $35 range for a sirloin. And across many Western Canadian locations, customers report properly cooked steaks with good seasoning and satisfying flavor. No dress code, no attitude. Just straightforward steak done properly. When you compare a $28 sirloin at Mr. Mike's to a $50 one elsewhere that tastes similar, it's hard not to respect the value. For many Canadians who want a good steak without turning it into a major financial event, this hits the sweet spot. That's why it takes the top position in this ranking. Not because it's the most luxurious, not because it's the most historic, but because it balances quality, affordability, and reliability in a way that makes sense for real life. So what's the takeaway? If you want ceremony and tradition and are willing to pay for it, Highs delivers. If you want a modern setting with surprisingly good steak at a fair price, Cactus Club might shock you. If you want reliable value without pretense, Mr. Mike's deserves serious consideration. And if you're paying premium steakhouse prices anywhere, expect more than good enough. At the end of the day, Canadians are not just buying food. We're buying experience, consistency, and the feeling that our money was well spent. Now I want to hear from you. Which chain has impressed you? Which one let you down? Have you noticed quality changes over the years? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe.